The 7 levels of mixed martial arts MMA. Every level of MMA explained. Level 1, striking basics. Rock bottom. These guys think they're fighters because they won a high school scrap. They watched UFC once and thought, yeah, I could do that. Zero cardio, zero technique, unlimited confidence. Jabs, crosses, guards. A proper jab is your range fighter. The cross is your power shot. Your guard is your defense. Hands up, chin down. Level 1 fighters are physically incapable of throwing a proper punch. Their stance is wrong. Their hands are down like they're at a nightclub. They telegraph every move. These people gas out in 30 seconds. If someone came at them, they trip over their own feet. Watching action movies does not prepare you for actual fighting. Level 1 is where you realize confidence without training is just illusion. Before we move to Level 2, hit subscribe. Level 2, Grappling Basics. You survived your first month. Unlike Level 1, you've shown up to more than 3 classes. You've been tapped out more times than you can count. Takedowns, clinch work, control. This is where strikers realize they've been living in fantasy. Someone shoots a double leg and your boxing skills mean nothing when you're on your back. Level 2 fighters are starting to understand basic concepts. The clinch isn't just hugging, it's warfare. Underhooks, overhooks, collar ties determine control. Grappling is about control, but Level 2 fighters execute at half speed because their brain is working overtime. Is it underhook first? No wait, collar tie? The problem is they're stuck between knowing what to do and doing it under pressure. It's like knowing how to drive versus driving in rush hour. These folks are still too nice. They're apologizing after every drill, and this isn't prom. If you're at Level 2, you're coachable now. You've been humbled enough to listen. You didn't quit, now you just need 1,000 more hours. Level 3, Ground Basics. You've been training 6 months to a year. You can perform basic defenses without your instructor holding your hand. Guard, mount, side control. When you're in mount, you're raining down punches. Side control, you're crushing their chest. Like a weighted blanket, except it's trying to hurt you. Level 3 fighters understand positional hierarchy. You're not just surviving, you're hunting for position. But you're functional, not good. You can handle these when you know they're coming. Thrown in predictability, different story. But that is where people plateau hardest. They get comfortable, so they think they're ready for anything. Or put them in a scenario where the attacker doesn't follow the script, and they're back to panic mode. Like that zombie movie moment when someone gets surprised from the left. These people tell friends, yeah, I do MMA, but when you asked about their fighting record, it's, well, I haven't competed yet because, and there's always an excuse. Breakthrough by competing. Amateur fights, grappling tournaments. Level 4, submissions. Time to talk about people who can actually handle themselves. You've competed. You've felt real pressure. Level 4 is where you've put in real work. 1 to 2 years consistent training, you've developed muscle memory, arm locks, chokes, leverage. An armbar isn't about yanking their arm, it's about isolating the elbow and using your body as a lever. A rear naked choke is about cutting off blood flow with proper positioning. Submissions are pure leverage. A 150-pound fighter can submit a 250-pound monster. Size matters less when you understand mechanics. What separates Level 4 from Level 3 is pressure. Level 4s perform under stress. Scenario training with multiple attackers, weird angles, they'll work through it. These practitioners have learned the hard way that everything hurts more than you think. They've been hit enough times to develop respect for distance and timing. They've grappled enough to understand that the ground is not your friend. They've done enough conditioning to know that fights are exhausting and you better finish it quick. Every mistake at this level gets punished immediately. You drop your hands for 1 second, you'll get clipped. You give your position on the ground, you're getting submitted. There's no room for sloppiness anymore. The margin for error is basically non-existent. They figured out submission chains. You go for an armbar, they defend, boom. Their neck is exposed for a triangle. But Level 4 still has blind spots. They're good at techniques. They've drilled 1,000 times. Throw them something outside their comfort zone, they're going to struggle. Level 5, combinations. Everyone from this level on is someone you don't want to mess with. They've been training for 3 to 5 years minimum, and you're getting paid to fight now. Sprawl and brawl, mixing disciplines effectively. Someone shoots for a takedown, you sprawl and immediately land knees. One continuous motion. Level 5 spent 5 to 8 years refining their skills. They're legitimately good at everything. Combinations are what separate MMA from other sports. A boxer only thinks punches, a wrestler only thinks takedowns, an An MMA fighter? They're thinking 3 dimensions ahead. Set up a jab to close distance for the clinch. Use that threat of takedown to open up head kicks. Level 5s have seen enough situations to adapt on the fly. Give them a problem they haven't specifically trained for, and they'll apply principles from techniques they know and figure it out. They understand that MMA is about problem solving under pressure, not memorizing choreography. These fighters have developed their identity. You watch them fight and immediately recognize their style. Some are pressure fighters who never stop coming forward. Some are technical counter-strikers who pick you apart. Some are submission specialists who drag everyone into deep water. They know who they are, and they've built their entire game around maximizing their strengths while working consistently to shore up their weaknesses. These people have taken serious hits during training. They've been choked out, thrown around, hit hard enough to see stars, and they keep coming back. That's mental toughness. The grind is brutal. You're training full-time, but probably not making enough to live comfortably. You're sacrificing everything. Most fighters never make it past here. Level 6, transitions. You're in a major organization, UFC, Bellator, won championship. You're ranked, fighting other killers. Level 6 practitioners, dedicated 5 to 10 years, multiple black belt degrees. These are people teaching at gyms, running seminars. Fluid movement between striking, grappling, and ground. Watch an elite fighter transition from boxing to clinch to takedown to ground and pound. One seamless flow. No pause. They don't just know techniques, they understand the why. They can break down mechanics, adjust on the fly. Transitions are where fights are won. When your opponent thinks they're safe in one range, you're already moving to another. They're winning fights against other elite competitors, on winning streaks, climbing rankings. People know their names. But level 6 is still not the top. Being top 15 UFC is incredible, but there's a massive difference between top 15 and top 5. Even bigger between top 5 and champion. There's one more step. Level 7, complete fighter. Master level is stupid rare. Maybe a handful of people in the entire world. Current or former champions: Anderson Silva, Georges St. Pierre, John Jones, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Amanda Nunes, Demetrius Johnson. They've dedicated their entire life to MMA. 20, 30, 40 years training. These aren't just practitioners, they're innovators. Strategy, adaptability, fight IQ. Champions understand the game at a completely different level. They see patterns others miss. They anticipate movements before they happen. Masters have forgotten more about MMA than most people will ever learn. They've been in real situations where this training saved lives, in actual life or death moments. The complete fighter has mastered every aspect of MMA. They can strike at range with precision, dominate in the clinch, take the fight to the ground whenever they want, but more importantly, they know when to use each tool. Knowing when to do it, that's mastery. What separates champions is that final gear nobody else has. When the fight is on the line, when they're tired, when they're hurt, they find something extra. Call it heart, killer instinct, greatness. These fighters see the fight like a grandmaster sees a chessboard. Every feint has purpose. They're not reacting, they're orchestrating the entire fight. These people earned their status through decades of dedication. They've shaped how the entire world understands mixed martial arts. True greatness in MMA isn't just winning a title once. It's defending it, over and over, against the best challengers in the world. That's what separates legends from everyone else. That's what makes you immortal in this sport. So where are you on this list? And more importantly, where do you want to be? Because understanding the levels is one thing, actually climbing them, that's something else entirely. Now if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.